What do you exactly want to do? What's your long-term goal?
So
we'll work it backwards.
Yeah, cool. We reverse engineer the vision. So my long-term goal is to work on food loss prevention measures in sub-Saharan Africa agricultural supply chain. So putting that into simple terms, a great statistic probably helps to whoever's going to be listening to this to visualize this. Africa, on average, every year produces around 1.7 billion. Loses enough calories to feed an adult at 2,000 calories per day. And the amount of adults of which it loses enough food for is 1.7 billion people. So it loses enough food to feed 1.7 billion people at 2,000 calories a day.
Not efficient.
Not efficient at all. There are 1.4 billion Africans currently, as we speak, living in the continent of Africa. So obviously not all of those 1.4 billion are hungry, so they aren't eating. But you can see that Africa's losing enough food to feed itself twice over. So the idea that, Africa is just inherently a hungry place, it's inherently impoverished, it's, they can't help themselves, they need international aid, all of these sort of things. I think when you strip that back and you see it for what it is, you see that there's international debt, that's being put there on purpose. There's post-colonial contracts with Western powers, which still, take away from these countries' abilities to spend on social spending, etc. So there's a lot. I could sit here all day and talk about the manipulation and the robbery of Africa that currently still happens. However, it's about focusing on self-sustainability. Solutions. Yeah, so it's about focusing on sustainability, and in that way building up sovereignty. Mm-hmm. So building up that independence. So that's what I want to focus on in the long term. That's part of the reason why I got into tech, because it is, although it's a social issue, there are technical aspects of it. So I wanted to understand those technical aspects. And then in terms of me advocating for digital literacy and doing the work that I've been doing around digital poverty, that part of it is important because I want to take it to Africa, but that part of it was for myself and is for myself. Mm-hmm. And when I say it's for myself, I mean it's for the younger version of myself. So growing up, I told a story when let
me just interject 1 second.
Yeah, go
just
on.
For everyone that don't know, Safari, you went to school in Africa, right?
Yeah, correct. I did my teen years in Africa.
Yes. And just to ask quickly, what was it like being educated in Africa?
The education is far better than it is in the UK, at least at state school level.
Right, okay.
I think if you go into private school, I've not been to private school, so it might be more advanced. But in terms of what they're actually teaching, the curriculum is far more advanced than it is here.
How did it help you as an individual? How did it change from you being someone that was born in England, how did it change your mind state? What did it add to you?
I would say it did two things. It took me out of my immediate environment, and it allowed me to kind of grow without some of those negative influences. The other thing it did for me is it helped me to understand the value of education. And then the other thing is it helped me to be appreciative. Not because I saw people with less. Everywhere you go, there's people with less. People go hungry in England every day. So it's not that people had less, it was that they were more grateful, even those who had more.
Okay.
So there was a level of gratitude that I think kind of made me self-reflect and say, all right then, like, these resources that I have, let me use them for good. And then also understanding that the victory in everything that you do is how many people you put on.
I used to have street dreams. Got a rush when I see